next speaker has been having one of the tough jobs that we've got in our state. Being the mayor of a city in upstate New York is not an easy job. Nobody's been doing it longer than Shawn Hogan. He was 33 when he was elected mayor of Hornell in the Southern Tier. That was in 1986. He took office. He's been mayor ever since. He's the longest tenured mayor in the state of New York. Mayor Hogan was the president of the New York State Conference of the Mayors, and he serves now on the executive committee of the organization.
Well, thank you, EJ, for inviting me to be a participant in this esteemed panel. I'd like to welcome everyone, and this is, I think, my second or third panel of EJs, and I always find them very enlightening. I can't sing, but I can dance, so I'd be happy to do a little soft shoe for you if you like. But I'm just going to talk about my experiences over a number of decades as mayor. I'm in my third decade as mayor of a small upstate city. And during the course of my tenure, I'd like to think that we've had some significant economic progress, both on an industrial and a commercial basis. But that doesn't escape the fact that in my tenure as mayor from 1986 until present, that we've lost significant population. From post-war Hornell looks nothing like the Hornell that I was born and raised in. And I think a lot of upstate communities, for those who were born and raised and stayed in the communities to continue to fight the fight, you'll find that the common lament is it isn't what it used to be. But I think we spend entirely too much time looking in the past and not looking forward upstate. And a lot of our problems upstate are self-inflicted. Self-inflicted because of parochialism, because of politics, and really people that are unwilling to change their thinking in any way, shape, or form to better themselves. There was a psychologist that a study that was called Learned Helplessness. And I think that's pretty much what's happened upstate. Learned helplessness. We have pretty much given up. And as Yogi Berra once said, it's deja vu all over again. And it continues. It's like Groundhog Day, the movie with Bill Murray. You wake up and you're trapped in this thing here, and everyone laments that without coming together as a group to try to solve our problems. In 1964, our then senator and it's unfortunate that 45 years ago today he was assassinated in Los Angeles, Bobby Kennedy. But our then senator of New York fought vigorously to include the Southern Tier counties of New York State in the Appalachian Regional Commission. Appalachian Regional Commission as a government program that was created to improve the lives of the people in the Appalachian Trail, running from Alabama through Mississippi, Kentucky, right up through Pennsylvania in the Southern Tier of New York State. The sad part about it is in 1964, when the ARC was created, things were much better than they are today. I can see in Hornell, when I was growing up, we had a number of textile firms going from Hickey Freeman to the Kaiser Glove Factory, to Merrill Hosiery, to Marion Rohr. There's one left, Stern & Stern. They do high-tech, manufacture of fabric for airbags, spacesuits, things of that nature. Hornell was once known as the city of silk, second only to Paterson, New Jersey, in the production of silk in this country. That's all gone. At one time, the Erie Railroad, Jay Gould's brainchild, employed 5,000 people in Hornell. It was a major terminus. It had the major sorting yard. It had the accounting bureau. They did all the the payroll and health insurance and all that work there, that went away in 1962. Then we had the bankruptcy of the Great Northeast Railroads, the Penn Central, the New York Central, Erie, Lackawanna, and they formed Conrail. Conrail decided that the Southern Tier main lines were no longer a valuable commodity. Closed the Erie Railroad shops, which was a major repair of diesel manufacturing. But what we did in Hornell was take those assets from the Erie Railroad that many people wanted to dispose of and tear down, and we turned those sow's ears into a silk purse, so to speak. And we took the infrastructure of the old shops, where it was like 2 football fields long and 5 stories high with huge indoor cranes, and we kept trying. The Industrial Development Agency, the City of Hornell, kept trying to recruit. And we had many failures. We had a group called Veterans of Indochina that failed. General Electric came to town, and everyone said, oh God, well, our kids will have jobs the rest of their life. They stayed 2 years. We had Morrison Knudsen that came to town, which is a big engineering construction firm, but they were in the railroad business, so they thought they would do rail cars. Mario Como had a vision. Why are we building New York City trans cars or rehabbing New York City trans cars everywhere else but New York? So with the help of Mario Como, he was instrumental in providing a contract for Morrison Knudsen, which really took over the old railroad shops and started the progression forward. After a number of successful years, Morrison Knudsen, they went bankrupt. Not because of lack of work, but because of mismanagement of a gentleman named Bill Agee. The bonding companies formed a company called Amrail to finish their contracts, and I think that was going to be the end of the shops. But there was a French company called Alstom that decided that they wanted to get in the North American market. And we like to think we recruited them, but I think they recruited us. They came to town and they bought the assets of the bankrupt Amrail, and they have had much success. Right now, they're on the rebound. They have about $500 million worth of work with contracts from Boston, Patco in southern New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And also, they're on the cusp of something huge, entering into the light rail vehicle market. The light rail transit vehicles are like the city of Buffalo, Charlotte, a lighter gauge vehicle. Alstom's never built a light range vehicle before. They're doing that in Ottawa, but a lot of those train sets will be built in Hornell, New York, with new technologies and high-tech manufacturing jobs. Because of Alstom, in the southern tier, from Elmira to Hornell and Dansville, there is a transportation cluster. Alstom is there in Hornell. There is a company in Anselo Breda in Dansville doing Buffalo transit cars, remanufacturing them. There is a company in Elmira called CAF from Spain, and they're doing Houston transit cars, new cars, and Amtrak new cars, double-deck cars. And you have a company, of course, Bombardier, who manufactures in Plattsburgh, but they also have a manufacturing plant in Kenona, New York. So there is a bright spot in the southern tier. With Andrew, I believe that the regional councils are a great concept, because I think they're more regional and they're paying attention to the information on the ground locally, trying to discern a policy and procedures to move it forward. But it's yet to be seen. For a community that's closer to Cleveland, Ohio, than I am to Albany or New York City, I think we need to look at things differently. But I think we need to come together as a state, and I think you've all heard it before, but we need a Marshall Plan for upstate New York. We need to bring a lot of people together, a lot of different thinkers, whether economists, economic development professionals, local officials, and really start looking at the issue where the rubber hits the road. There's not a concerted or well-conceived plan. And like I say, this has been going on. I was born and raised in Hornell, and we go back 49 years to the Appalachian Regional Commission. Not much has changed. Deja vu all over again. Thank you.